could have, what's the pitfalls of it?
Okay, so, I think they squeezed out Airbnb, now they're gonna bring it back. So you can own any home, and you don't even have to be there. So you could literally buy a new home next to your neighbor or whatever.
You have to, for the Airbnb, for the certain ones, first you can only do one family at a time. You can't rent out rooms in your
But
apartment.
that's part of the 948A.
You
Oh, it's
can't
put in?
rent
Well,
out-
maybe
You can't rent out rooms. It's either a whole apartment. You can't have little hotel rooms, otherwise you have to have a sprinkler system.
Unless they added it. Did they add it?
No, they didn't.
They
And
didn't look
you
at it?
also have
Okay,
to
that's what I
be a
heard.
landlord living in the house to rent out the other apartment or sublet while you're there.
Well, unless they made changes, because I understood that those
Otherwise,
two
it's
provisions were not there
Right.
specifically, so unless
They're coming, they have a special unit just for that now called the Mayor's Task Force. And then they're gonna create a new Mayor's Task Force to give more violations, trust me.
Well, I don't know if my neighborhood's considered white anymore, I don't know. So since I'm gonna be getting a higher property tax due to Zohan, saying the white neighborhood should be taxed, maybe I'll be opening up a bed and breakfast. No, I'm just kidding, I don't want anyone near me. But anyway, I'm just saying, they want to bankrupt people. They want to bankrupt all of us. Because they want to knock down these small little homes, the 3 families and below or whatever. They want to knock it down, they want to take your property, they want to seize it, oh, I forgot about the new bill that's already been introduced, and that's a fun one. I forgot the name of these little dumb legislations, but basically, in a nutshell, you want to sell your house, you want to escape, right? Who wants to escape from New York eventually, right? Whatever. So you want to escape, you want to leave, but now you have to tell the city. I forget what agency, you have to tell someone. Hi New York City, we'd like to get the hell out of here. Okay, but before you do that, you got to allow nonprofits to bid on your properties, even though a lot of these nonprofits don't even have money to buy these properties. But we want to make sure your life is miserable. Mm-hmm. So now you got to wait 120 days for them to bid and just have a window for them to counteract any offer. So now you're tying this up now for 120 more days to sell your property, which will make lenders say, I'm not doing this, or anything else like that. It's going to scare off potential buyers and anything like that. And that's for 3 family and above. I win the lottery yet again. 3 family and above.
Multiple use, it has to have a store.
No, they said 3 family and above. This law that they're introducing right now, because they're ready to go. They've been introducing these anyway and getting them passed. Because you have to have a law book when you walk out of the house, because there's always these new laws of communism. But yet, they will continue on steroids now that they have their new, wonderful, exalted leader, Mandami, and he'll give you a smile, yeah, like the Joker. The nice little smile, and like a used car salesman. He will say, hey, everything's nice. This car is great. Until your transmission, as they say, drop a tranny, not the other trannies, but the tranny, and the car doesn't run anymore because the city won't be running anymore. The city is going to become a cesspool. It is already, it won't become worse than it already is. You wait and see when we have the wonderful social workers coming to these domestic calls. That's going to go out quite well. I would like to know who wants to do the jobs. Like, who's these social workers they're getting, number one? Where are they coming from?
They're activists, they already have the list of.
Oh, they have
They
already?
come from the communist, local communist
Oh,
party
nice.
chapter.
Oh, yes, yes.
That's what the social workers are?
Yeah.
Who's the social workers?
Well, what they want to do is have social workers go
I
to...
thought it's Antifa. I thought that Antifa.
Is
Well,
that Antifa do it?
Yeah, I figured
I don't know if
that's
it's Antifa or
That's the left
Antifa
law
or
enforcement.
whoever the hell it is. They are going to get social workers to go to these schools. That's what they want to do. And Mandami says that, and he recently said it again, that we don't need to hire more police. Right? He already said it. Said it recently. No, we don't need to. Every other candidate running, Curtis wanted 7,000 new police. Cuomo wanted 5,000 new police. And Mandami wants 0 new police. That meant He says we have enough with the 35,000 figure that he threw out there. But here's the thing, everyone is retiring on steroids more than they were already. Now with this freak coming in as mayor, everyone's going to want to get the hell out of here with being a police officer. So there'll be no new hires in the sense of replacement, because they're not hiring new. I don't know if they want to, I don't know how that number works, if it's to make even again, that obviously they'll hire to make even, but they're not going to hire extra. And we all need extra because of, look, what the quality of life. Look, a lot of these crimes are not reported. Let's not be fooled here. Oh, look, crime is down, blah, blah. It is not down. It is still the way it is, and probably worse than what we realize. A lot of these quality of life crimes are not taken care of. When you get into a car accident, you have to call 911 and say, oh, my back hurts, and then tie up an ambulance that's probably going to be going to a heart attack call for the police to come to take your damn police report. You have to take the police report now. You get an offender bender, you call 911, any injuries? No. All right, and let's make sure you guys follow the report at the local place. You have to go there. You're already traumatized already that your car has no more door, right? You have to call whatever, the tow truck or whatever it is, and there's no injuries in these particular accidents, right? They don't come to do the report because that happened during COVID time. So it's a wonderful idea, right, to continue that policy because we pay less taxes now and we should get less services, right? We pay higher taxes. My property tax already went up. It keeps going up. And the quality of life sucks. And we want our taxpayer money to go to services that belong, you know, where all of us get access to it. Stop taking away things like an accident where I have to be more traumatized to do a report. Enough is enough. But it will never end because we will always, as New York, vote for the dumb Democrats. We love them so. We love, wait when the murder rates, if it goes up, God forbid, during the Dinkins time. It took Dinkins 2,000-something murders for Giuliani to appear again. But those people moved and died already. Those people that were devoted, the normal type of Democrats, the Kennedy Democrats, you know, the guy who passed away X amount of 62 years ago yesterday when he got shot in the head. Kennedy. Though that party is dead, along with him now, because there's no more Reagan Democrats or whatever. Those are now Republicans, and the so-called Reagan Democrats, like I said, don't exist no more. They're communist. That party has tilted so far left that the earth is gonna fall off its axis. Okay? So what could we do now, as we're all commiserating the loss of this election? What could we do now to be the opposition towards this? There's only so much we could do. We could talk about it. We could talk about it, put it on social media, hopefully it gets legs that way. We could talk to your neighbor. We're supposed to be doing this anyway. And get people on board for the next election. I know it feels like we're at the Alamo. I know it feels like we're all gonna, you know, what's the point? Well, if you're still living in New York, you gotta keep fighting. Because you're not only fighting for yourself, your family, you're fighting for your sanity also. You're fighting because everyone's gonna be driving crazy with this new type of approach to Gracie Mansion. Yes, sir.
You're gonna take over the Republican Party, that's number one. Number two, only 40%, nearly 40% of the people went out and voted in this last election. Republicans are outnumbered 7-1 by Democrats. A lot of those Democrats could probably, maybe 2 of those 7 could be switched over to the Republican Party. The Republican Party needs to go out and recruit. It needs to do 3 things that Lenin once quoted: organize, organize, organize. We have a leadership in the Republican Party that does absolutely shit. They only become active 90 days before an election, and all of a sudden you see them going out flyers. You get the professional campaign advisors, et cetera, making tons of money with the matching funds now
Right.
and all this other stuff. 60% of the voters did not vote in this last election, and most of them were Republicans. They have this bad habit, off-year elections, they don't show up because they don't think the local elections matter. 40 seats in the city council were run by Democrats without any opposition whatsoever. 40 of them.
Yes, and that is a problem.
40% of the entire city council had no opposition from any Republican, no Tea Party, no nothing.
Right.
So unless you take over the organization of the Republican Party, the chairman in the state, and all these other idiots fronting this thing, you're gonna lose, lose, lose. It doesn't matter how hard some people in this room, will work and whatever. If the entire organization is not organized, then you're dead. And that's the
Absolutely.
problem that you've got.
You're right, because look, we have people in this room, right? That ran for office or might be thinking about running for office. If you're thinking about running for office or taking a party position within the Republican Party, please do so if you could. Of course, everyone has families, everyone has obligations. But if somehow you have it within you to do so, do so. Even if it's on the sacrificial lamb, you're on the altar type of thing. I ran 3 times for office. 98, 08, 16, I might run next year, every 10 years, right? I'm a district leader in my area. I always make sure I run a candidate in my district for the assembly, no matter whatever, as long as I breathe and if I have to. Because it's hard enough. Hey, you want to run? Hey, you want to run? You want to run? No one in their right mind really wants to run, but you have to try to run someone, as you said. You have to have choices. Even if it's on a sacrificial lamb level, you got to have choices. You can't let these idiots get into office unchallenged. That is unacceptable. Brooklyn does have a new chairman. Let's hope that we move forward with making sure those initiatives are taken. Recruit. Absolutely. Yes.
There were,
We'll get to
when Giuliani ran against Lincoln the first time, it was a close election. When it was
2%
all-
difference, right?
When it was all over, Giuliani proposed to go back and investigate, according to the state election law, and knock on doors and verify if a lot of these brand new voters are voters. But the Liberal Party vetoed it. They said, we won't allow you to do it, and he backed off. About 1 million new so-called voters were on the list. That's the bulk of the ones I recruited from Manzanani, about 1 million of them.
Mhm.
Nobody checked their background. They're brand new. Where do they live? If you knock on the door, do they live there or do they live in Berkeley or,
Correct.
there has been no attempt. In other states, they do that. We ought to have some kind of a mechanism.
You're right, and I don't know, since you're a district leader, you know that how it works at the Board of Elections, because you deal with them. I was told also in the past that when you register to vote,
Yeah, do it.
your first time, now they have where you have to add your last 4 digits of your social security. Let's say you're not adding anything. I'm not gonna add my, I'm an illegal alien, I don't have a social security number,
No problem.
or a driver's DMV number, but